deep beneath the earth, where sunlight dared not tread. The clash of steel and crackle of magic filled the air as our valiant heroes battled against the relentless rootlings. But emerging upon the island of the darkened lake, our heroes witnessed a scene of dire desperation. The chained Arrowhawk was dying. And so, with a gentle surge of healing magic, the Arrowhawk was restored. "I owe you my life," he said. "In return, I offer you a single favor that I shall grant whenever you call upon me." And then behold, from the temple Harold unveiled a hidden treasure. From this golden statue of the disgraced god, he transformed the gold into 6 golden figures, each resembling the 6 gods of Torus. Finally, Darkwood loomed before them, its ancient trees whispering secrets of forgotten tales. And upon arriving to the fort, a figure emerged from the shadows. A tall and imposing half-orc, the leader of the banished humans. But as Prince Newt caught sight of this leader, fear overcame him, and he fled into the depths of the forbidding forest. And so our heroes must now give chase through the treacherous brambles, else they fail their quest, and never return home.
You are all standing outside the massive walls of Darkwood Fort, as with sudden movement, Newt scarpers away from you, down the winding path. The question is, would you like to chase him?
I would like to chase him, please.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
In that case, please roll initiative.
8.
14.
15.
So as Newt darts off, Morris, you instinctively start chasing after him, so please can I have an athletics check from you.
Oh, can I turn into a tiger?
As you begin running, you feel your spikes shrink into your skin, as your face elongates and you feel the muscles rippling beneath you as you pounce into tiger form. And what is your speed as a tiger, please?
40.
Great, so you'll get advantage on your athletics checks. And then please can everyone make athletics checks. I got a natural 20 on Newt.
11.
To 16.
2.
So you all begin chasing after Newt, and Morris, you're in tiger form, so you bound ahead with extra speed. Liliana, you're not used to walking on land as much, and so you fall behind as everyone else gains ahead on Newt. When suddenly he glances over his shoulder and he sees a freaking tiger, and so he dives into some bushes and you all lose sight of him. If you're going to chase him into there, could I please have another round of athletics checks?
Oh, natural 20. -1, so 19.
4.
21.
Morris and Harold. As Liliana slows down to a walk, you two dive into the bushes, as then the ground beneath you gives way to a really steep hill, which leads all the way down to a clearing at the bottom. You're both just about able to maintain balance as you stumble after him, and then with another quick look over his shoulder to see you following him, he stumbles and rolls down the rest of the hill. But before you can reach him, there is a twang in the air. He is swung up into a woven sack.
Can I cut him down?
Is he elevated?
Yeah, so he's suspended about 10 feet in the air.
I did have my bow ready. I don't know why I'm doing finger guns, but...
Message!
Can I try and shoot the rope? Would that be more effective than him climbing up and cutting it?
Morris, as you're eyeing up this rope, your sharpened tiger eyes kind of scan the surroundings, and then you see further up ahead there is another woven sack with similar movements inside of it.
As a tiger, can I finger gun Harold to like ask him to message?
Is that our new signal for send me a message? Hey, what's up?
Hey, there's another net over there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Describe the net.
Oh, it's a trap.
Oh, okay. Where?
Yes. There.
You spot the same sack suspended from the tree, as Morris has pointed out, and it appears to have something moving in it, but that's all you can really tell from this point of view.
I would like to sort of sneak around the perimeter, presuming that there will be people monitoring a trap.
Could I have a perception check then, please?
I was a 7 for perception.
As you examine the perimeter, beyond the swinging nets, you spot a towering cliff face that is covered with thick moss. And about 30 feet above the ground, you see the jagged opening of what looks to be a small cave nestled within the cliff.
I would like to ready my gust of wind. If anybody comes out, I'll just blow them back into the cave.
Great. Love it.
Yeah. I pull out my beam.
Could I work on the nets?
Which one are you cutting down first?
The one that Newt's in.
As a tiger, you can effortlessly leap up 10 feet vertically into the air, which is what you do. And so with a bite, you kind of tear the woven sack. And there's only the sound of a heavy thud as Newt falls out of the sack as it lands on the ground. Leaves swirling up around him as he gasps for breath. And as the Yulan next to him, he looks up at you with pained eyes. Okay, fine. I'll go with you to the fort.
I purr in gratitude. And then I work on the other net.
With another vertical leap, your teeth tear through the second sack. And with a blur of motion, you see a figure fall out of it and land with another heavy thud on the ground next to Newt. And then you all look down at the figure, which appears to be a satyr.
Hello.
Yeah. I knew it.
Yay! Hi!
He's so back on already.
I mean, I'm so scared.
Harold,
Yeah?
we have a situation over here.
I have a situation over here. I'm hungry. I'm trying to find food.
Oh, okay.
What's your situation?
I've got a goat. What's your name, goat person?
Oh, my name's Klaus-Kaul.
Very good.
I barely got out of there by the skin of my teeth. You could say it was a Klaus-Kaul.
What are you doing here?
I decided to pretend to be a fish, and I went into this net, and then I got myself stuck. Oh, I'm a little old rascal.
But why were you trying to be a fish?
Sometimes a goat gotta do what a goat gotta do, you know?
Would you like to meet my friends?
Yeah, I'd love to meet your friends. What's your name?
My name's Morris.
Oh, hi Morris. Lovely to
Hi.
meet you.
You might not have seen him, but there was a human that ran by him. He's okay. He's a nice human.
Oh, is he?
Harold,
Hi!
this is Klaus-Kaul.
Hi, Klaus-Kaul. Klaus-Kaul.
Nah.
Klaus-Kaul.
Is that a hyphenated or is it just Klaus and surname Kaul?
It's it's a double-barreled name like Carrie Ann or something.
Ah, Klaus-Kaul, like Mary Sue. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Alright, cool. I'm Harold. I'm not from around here. I don't think any of us are. Are you from around here?
Oh, I am from around here. Yes.
So you're from this world?
Yeah. I am a native, I believe they call me.
Nice. Well, nice to meet you.
Might I say what lovely wings you have?
Oh, why, thank you. Sort of brushes a little bit, like flops up his chest. How did you end up in this net situation?
Oh, it was a funny story. I was just telling Morris about this as well. So I was so thirsty, and I decided, I wish I had some water around here. So then I thought, do you know who gets loads of water? Fish. Fish get loads of water, and you tend to see them in nets. So I decided to go into a net, and then here I am. I got stuck.
I mean, the logic is there.
It's definitely logic, I'm sure.
Well, at least you're free now.
Thank you. With your help.
I call for Liliana.
I'll walk over.
This is Liliana.
Princess Liliana.
Princess Liliana? Oh my goodness. I knew a princess once.
Liliana Linoleum Lulworth is my name.
You're a fish person? Oh my goodness, you must never get thirsty. Morris, what fine beast are you?
Oh, I'm a hedgehog.
You're a hedgehog?
Yes.
Wow. I had a friend who was a hedgehog once.
Oh, what happened to him?
Oh, he got caught crossing a road. He didn't stop, look and listen. Wait, what are you guys doing? What brings you here?
We're trying to overrun a camp for humans.
I've never heard of something so exciting.
Would you like to join?
Join the
I'd love
revolution.
to join if you would have me, but I am quite clumsy.
It's okay, we could do with someone clumsy. We need a plan though. Harold, how are you
Yes.
planning?
Let me tell you, I have orchestrated 2, not 1, 2 revolutions in my time.
Well, it sounds like you're in a position to be a leader, but what about Liliana?
I'm not very good at planning.
So, Harold, have you revolutionized something like the camp that we've just come across?
Kind of. Yes. A bandit camp. So, like, bad guys.
I think we're going to need some sort of distraction. Is there anybody here that can make some sort of like clattering, sort of loud noise? Sounds really waiting to
Clattering
say
loud noise. Oh, I think I can do a clattering loud noise.
No, some sort of flying elephant. We are going to need some distractions.
Speaking of flying, I know a guy. I have a friend. He's on his way. And we have a plan.
If you see a big fluffy thing, it doesn't exist.
It may pop in and out of existence, and that means it's not real.
Appearing out of nowhere, you notice that Sparrowman pops into existence again. Are you talking about me?
So, Klaus, what are your special skills?
Headbutting.
Klaus's excited cry echoes around the clearing that you're in. And then you hear from the cliff the sound of crumbling rock. And with a crash, you notice a landslide, the sound of an otherworldly screech joining it. Glancing now at the pile of rubble at the bottom of this cliff face, and you look up to see the top of the cave, you spot the familiar clawed figures of 3 more rootlings that are perched in this cave. Then with a sudden flash of movement, they begin to crawl out of the cave towards you.
I'd like to fire my gust of wind that was readied. I want to fire it so it sort of fires them upwards, so hopefully they'll fall. So it's strength save of 14.
Okay, so that is a natural 1, a 19, and a 16. So that'll be 4d6 damage you can roll for the full damage, please.
17.
Your eyes focus on this bean as you raise it up to the sky. And then as you whisper the spell, the bean vanishes. And then you feel the powerful rush of wind come up from behind you as it rushes towards the rootlings. You see that 2 of the rootlings dig their claws into the rock face, and then you hear a screech of one of the ones who try to claw in, can't find its grasp, and goes flying about 15 feet into the air. And so gravity naturally does its thing as it hurtles towards the ground. It crashes with the sound of a squelch and turns to ink and dark smoke. So please can everyone now roll initiative.
Gonna take a small bow.
That's probably the most successful damage you've ever done.
No.
9.
6.
6.
7.
Morris, these 2 other rootlings have managed to claw their way down the cliff now and are now approaching you. What would you like to do?
Erupting Earth.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, they need to succeed a 15 dexterity.
That is a 3 and a 12.
That's 20 damage.
You hold out your staff in front of you. The jagged pile of rubble explodes. Broken earth whirls around them, throwing rocks and earth all over the place. And then as the spell ends, all this pile of rubble just crumbles at once to the ground. And all that remains of the rootlings is the sight of some black ooze seeping out of the cracks in this pile of rubble.
Oh, sorry.
You dealt with that very quickly.
I did a...
I'm gonna give a little high five to Mr. Morris.
I accept the high five.
I headbutt the ground out of excitement.
Making it even more unstable.
I think we should infiltrate the camp.
Newt speaks up and he's like, "We need to go home. The cat has worshippers. You have a husband, and even you," he turns to you, Harold, "even you have a book club you must return to. And I've got less than 2 weeks before I need to get married. We need to be searching for a better way back home."
I message the guy because I assume Sparrowface is still around, right?
Yeah, he's kind of like coming in and out of invisibility still, as usual.
So we have to assume he's always around.
Yeah.
The plan is to have a friend of mine, a very large feathered friend of mine, come pick up the furbolg. While he's around, I don't think you have much chance of escaping.
But once we're in the camp, I'm going to be stuck there.
Oh, we'll get you out.
Is that a promise you can make?
Yes.
Yes.
Then swear on something.
I swear on your marriage. in 2 weeks.
You must dwell on something that's important to you.
I rummage around in my pockets and pull out this pen. This is a great pen. I won it in a game of poker from my friend, and it can write without ink. And I show him. I scribble, like take his arm and just scribble hello.
So I shall take this off your hands and then...
Oh, no. You can't take this off my hands. No, I don't have hands.
Because you don't have hands.
Yeah.
And I'll give it back to you when you rescue me.
No, I took it away and like do some sleight of hand to put it in like a different pocket.
Sure, just roll a sleight of hand check.
16.
That is 16 on his perception.
While we're having this conversation, is there any water around?
You can hear the sound of a stream or maybe a river somewhere westwards.
Maybe that's where Klaus-Kaul should have gone for his water.
I just want to do some fishing, that's all.
Do fish
Can I
fish?
follow Lenalia?
Yeah, you can go fishing if you want.
Yay!
Fishing with my hook.
Do goats fish?
I do now.
While you do that, I'll set up camp.
As they head off, you spend the next hour setting up camp for the night.
I've caught a fish. The fish has sprouted wings and is now going to follow me around singing a beautiful tune for the next 6 hours.
Maybe that's a distraction. 2 gold coins to see the singing fish.
That's
Singing
a good
flying-
idea.
Oh, maybe we could do that with a circus coming to town.
Yes.
The hedgehog that turns into a tiger,
Goat.
the goat, the...
Oh, I've got an idea.
Oh,
If,
come on then.
if we are doing circus, run into the water and then run out and see how much seaweed I can collect on my horns and pretend to be a swamp monster.
You can do that.
Okay. That is 13.
You plunge into the river, and as you emerge from the water, your once golden fur is now covered in just matted mud, with grassy strands sticking out of you.
I'm a swamp monster! I headbutt a rock.
Oh, I love this guy.
Okay. I can do disappearing acts.
Sparrowman steps out of nothingness and says, I can do that.
I can do disappearing acts, and I go into a whisper on the humans.
That's a good idea. Okay, yeah, so, right, we need posters. We have, what, an hour?
Yeah, you can have a short
Once in
rest
an
while
hour.
doing this if you want to.
We have a short rest. Okay, cool.
I can go scavenging.
Cool. I will gather some like grass and twigs and things to fashion into paintbrushes.
I'm going to keep fishing.
Can I go find the body of those, like, crow horrible bird people?
Yeah, of course, go ahead.
Okay, and I want to rip one of their wings off.
You dig around in the rubble for a bit, and then you find a wing, so you tug at it, and with a disgusting crack, it pulls away quite easily from the body, dripping with dark ooze that fades into smoke as you rip it away.
I want to run back to Morris and be like, Morris, I've got... Oh, it's in my mouth, by the way. Morris, I've got black ink.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, I need you to make a constitution saving throw, please.
Oh. 13.
Here's exactly what you needed. As you hold the severed wing in your mouth, a bitter taste fills all of your senses, and as you accidentally swallow some of this black, inky ooze, a wave of nausea just passes over you, and you begin to feel a little bit lightheaded. But besides that, you don't feel that you're poisoned by this.
Hey, Klaus, how do you feel?
Well, a little bit sick, but nothing an old head smack on a rock won't fix, and I smack my head on a rock.
Let's get this circus on the road.
You spend the next hour foraging for berries and grasses and perfecting your performances. Please could everyone make a performance check as you're preparing.
7.
Yeah, abilities.
Okay, 18.
As a bard, this is heartbreaking. I got a natural 1. I have a +6, but still.
22.
So what is it you're all supplying to the circus?
My seeing fish, and I can hold my breath a very long time.
I'm doing banners.
I do the vanishing trick at the end.
As the fish sings beside you all. Morris, you practice your vanishing spells. And Harold, you pour your heart and soul into crafting the most magnificent banners with your magical pen and your tongue stuck out in concentration and your little legs kind of kicking up behind you as you lie down on your front. You painstakingly sketch and colour each of these banners. You proudly unfurl these banners to show everybody, but none of you can see what Harold has designed on these. They all just look like empty banners.
I just run up to someone and said, but you can see it, right? Like, the flowers and the bubble writing. I tried so hard on the bubble writing. And look, I even drew pictures of everybody. Look, you have the little swamp monster there. I think it's quite a good likeness.
It looks great.
Please make a deception check, Morris.
5.
Harold, your passive insight of 13 means you either think he's being patronizing to you, or it's like he doesn't seem quite certain in the design.
Roll it up and I go, well, if you don't like it, then I suppose I can do another one. Here, look, I'll do a special one for you. I point at Morris and then I draw a little thing. Like, look, I can draw you. I drew
Can I see
you.
it?
Harold extends this towards you, Morris, and you just see a little stick figure of a hedgehog holding a staff.
Oh, I can see that one. Yeah, that looks. I mean,
Like, is there something wrong with my pen? I like scribble with the pen again.
Morris, you still can't see anything.
I want to convince Harold that the drawing was so beautiful that the gods decided to take it and then leave her with nothing.
classic gods.
That's a 5.
Harold, can you roll an insight?
17.
This time you know it's a straight up lie.
Okay, I suppose I can go make another one if you don't like this one. I do a new banner with intention. I'm like, everyone will see this. They will see my work and I will be loved.
Could I have another performance check then, please?
I thought it was another 1. It's not. It was a 7, so 13.
You set to work once again, and you draw Liliana with her singing fish. There's another banner of Klaus as a swamp monster, and then there's a mysterious one that just says bastard, nothing else on it. And then there's one of Morris carrying a staff and like a ghostly light coming out of it.
Oh wow, that's actually really good.
Thank you. Like I've been telling you the entire time, I'm pretty good.
As you roll up the banners, the light of the sunset is temporarily clouded by the large shadow of a beast. You see descending with powerful beats of his wings, the Arrowhawk Returns. He lands with a gentle thud on the ground, his talons gripping the earth, and he looks towards Harold and says in Oran, I'm here to help you.
I want you to take the furball that keeps coming in and out of existence, just fly him up real high somewhere far away from here. Just let go.
Please can you make a persuasion check?
15.
Causing harm is against my morals. But you rescued me, so I will do as you ask. He inclines his head. Where is this furbolg?
He keeps popping in and out of existence, but he looks like this, and I scribble down a picture of him.
He sees the drawing and then turns his head and looks over his shoulder, and you all see Sparrowmind walking with like a map in front of him, and he's like tracing something with his finger.
Yes, that one. Now, please.
In a blur of motion, he rushes forwards towards Sparrowmind. He grasps him in his talons, and with a scream, Sparrowmind is lifted upwards. You see Sparrowmind's widened eyes as he drops this page onto the ground, and with each beat of his wings, Kalag flies into the sky until the surrounding clouds cover them, and they disappear from sight.
Thank you, friend.
Well, that's a relief.
So, in the darkening light of sunset, you all begin making your way back towards Darkwood Fort, until at last the towering walls come into view. And as you approach the gates, you notice that there is a ethereal violet glow that seems to be coming from the gates themselves. And just beyond the gate, you see a really large valley stretching out. And at the end of this valley is a colossal waterfall that runs into a river. Throughout the valley itself, you see stone houses and buildings dotted around. But above the roar of the waterfall, you hear the sounds of haunting screams. And just as these screams reach your ears, the half-orc Ruin pushes open a door that's in the walls themselves and quite excitedly runs up to you, Morris, and says, You found the human?
Yes, we have Newt. Come along, Newt.
Rune steps forward with manacles, and despite his ferocity, he grabs Newt quite gently and ties his hands behind his back. And then he addresses you. Do you need a place to stay tonight?
Yes, and we actually have a show to perform for the humans and the gods.
A show? The humans here are all in captivity. No entertainment whatsoever. I've been here for centuries and centuries, and I assure you, they have not enjoyed a single show by any passing traveller. And you can report that right back to your council. Everything is well under control, good sirs, very well under control.
Have you had any close calls?
We have no room for it, kind sir. We have inspections every 50 years, as you should know. And not one single close call. In all the centuries I've been chief captain of the guard here.
I headbutt the ground in excitement.
A perception check of what he was saying.
You can instead roll an insight.
Insight, that's probably what I mean, yeah. That's a 7.
You can tell he's being a little bit shifty, as if he's hiding something. Almost as if he's really nervous to be in your company.
We've actually been instructed by the council to improve morale, to keep the rioting at bay, you know.
Rioting under my watch? If there were rioting, I would beat them, sir, and you can tell your council just that.
The screams that we hear, are they like screams of torture, or are they like the screams you'd hear at a water park?
I mean, there is a waterfall in the distance, but no, it's far more the screams of the torture variety.
I'm gonna finger guns. Do the signal.
Okay.
I don't think they're actually torturing the humans.
Oh.
That's my guess. I think they might be alright. It's worth holding our horses before we kill them all.
We don't have any horses.
Can I ask for the good guard's name?
I'm Chief Captain Rune of the Darkwood Guard. The most senior position, and I've been in this fortress since its inception.
I'm sure you've tortured many humans in your lifetime.
You have no idea, sir. No idea whatsoever.
You just can't get enough. Listen, Rune, this is council procedure, and I don't want to play, the authority card, but we really have to put on a show for the humans,
Please make a deception check, Morris.
Okay, it's a natural 20.
Well, if it's council business, and I mean, between you and me, it's been a while since we did have an inspection. They used to come in and inspect everything, but they don't really look around anymore. They just come in and make sure we're still here. Perhaps, just this once, mind, we can allow one single show for our prisoners this evening.
So he raps on the gate and calls, "Open up!" And you watch as the violet light flickers away, as the huge gate swings open.
I'll put my big boy voice on and, roll up. The circus has come to town, everybody.
Would you like the inspector's tour to report back to your council?
Absolutely.
So he begins leading you through the gates, taking you to what looks like a rickety wooden lift. Its weathered planks kind of creaks under your feet as you step onto it. Then he pulls a lever and you begin descending really slowly with the sound of a grinding chain. And the fortress walls give way to the valley. The massive waterfall comes into view and the mist rising from it seems to just fill the horizon. Rune then points to a building in the distance where you can see the silhouette of a human being tortured. Screams resound even louder the more you descend.
Firstly on our tour, take a look at the public displays of torture. Dwarven forged manacles and rope all the way from Proudstone. This is the state-of-the-art torture rack, and we provide only the best for the very worst of criminals.
And as the lift grinds to a shuddering halt on the ground, the site of this torture display is about 150 feet away.
I want to headbutt the human.
Oh, Rune, my friend would like to test the durability of these humans. So, can
You may look from a safe distance, but we mustn't touch. The gods would be very angry if you did.
Fine. I trot my little feet into the ground and headbutt the earth.
Rune looks really affronted and he's like,
Sir, that is most uncalled for.
The council told me to do this.
No, Klaus.
As he's leading to a large stone building, he points out a small chapel further ahead in the distance.
Some of the guards enjoy taking the humans up there to beg for mercy. Nothing quite like the human spirit, eh? But if it were up to me, I would beat them, sirs. I would beat them within an inch of their lives and show them no mercy. That is my moral code.
This would be a great place for a wedding, though, right?
As we're continuing on, right on a little scrap of paper, I just slip the guy a note using my special pen and just say, "Are you okay? Do you need help?"
He looks at you with very suspicious eyes and then nods quite shiftily before handing it back to you.
Can I roll insight or
Of course.
one? 13.
You know that he's hiding something quite significant, and he seems almost to be scared of you, as if he fears you're an official, like council representative or something like that. And he knows that they're not up to the standard that they should be.
Are there any humans around?
See a few that are lingering around, besides obviously the ones that are being tortured, carrying like buckets, pickaxes, and fishing rods. And they're all walking in a line, single file, as if they're manacled together.
Can I just lightly throw a pebble at one? No, I don't want to hurt them.
The closest person is roughly about 100 feet away, but you feel you can hit them. You can just roll a standard attack and then add your dexterity.
It's a 19.
You subtly pick up a pebble from the ground, and then with perfect accuracy, it whizzes through the air and then seems to fly right through the human that's being tortured. And Rune doesn't seem to notice what you've done.
I frantically fingered them.
Yeah.
The humans aren't real.
Oh.
I throw a stone and it just went straight through. Some sort of like vision.
Oh.
Either they've all escaped. Something is going on here.
I write the guy another little note.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a risk here and just say, we're not with the council.
He takes the note and then he holds it and looks at it for a really long moment, and then he hands it back to you and says very enthusiastically,
And there's the waterfall. Of course, mustn't go near it at all. The water is far too dangerous for any Taurus citizen. For of course that is where they harvest time, which is very dangerous indeed. And if you continue onwards, I'll show you the barracks for where you'll be staying, and there you can prepare your performances.
Ooh, goody.
I would like to look at the waterfall, please.
as he leads you towards the barracks, he doesn't really pay attention to who's still following him. He seems pretty nervous at this point. So Liliana, you linger behind, and you begin making your way to the waterfall. Please can you roll an investigation check.
10.
It's a massive waterfall, but nothing really seems out of the ordinary from where you're standing.
How deep is the pool at the bottom?
It seems like a very, very deep river.
I'd dive in. I haven't been in water for a long time.
As you drop into the cold water, you feel more at home than you've been this whole time you've been in Torus, and you feel totally refreshed as you move through the water. And then you see the pounding water of the waterfall up ahead.
I'm going to swim up, have a quick look, and then swim back.
You feel the pressure of the waterfall above you as you swim under the current, but you see some ripples of light that are above the surface. And as you come out of the water, you find yourself in a massive cavern. And you're surrounded by islands that are all connected to each other through like bridges. On all of these stone rock islands are buildings. And as you look upwards, it appears that you're looking into daylight, but when your eyes kind of adjust, you realize that you're looking at massive sheets of like magical crystal that seems to be mimicking daylight. Then you hear the sound of laughter and like talking from one of the islands. And as you look over, you see what must be some kind of town square with a marketplace and a tavern and a fountain at the center of it. And there are many people, all human, that are milling around.
Okay, I'm going to swim back and then catch up with the others.
You rush back through the water and you make it back to the group just as you see Rune leading them into the barracks. And he's there talking about the history of it. He seems pretty anxious at this point still. And then the rest of you turn around to see a dripping wet Liliana sneaking up towards the back of the group. And Rune hasn't noticed anything as he tells you all to make yourselves at home. And he's going to make an announcement to the humans that there's going to be a circus tonight. And then he leaves you in the barracks.
Liliana, you're looking wetter than usual.
There's like a whole little like town behind the waterfall of humans quite happily living. And also these humans aren't real that we've seen. So something is going on.
But that ruins our plan entirely.
Has the revolution already happened?
I think it might have happened a few hundred years ago. It might be a little late.
We could just move here.
Now here's a novel idea. We could do a revolution and reinstall the camp. Put it back to what the council thinks it is. We're planning for a revolution, so let's just put it back. No. What are we going to do about that, dearest leader?
I'm conflicted. I'm pleased, of course, that there seems to be a happy bunch of humans here. Do we leave it as is and then just go overthrow the bad guys that sent us?
Elsewhere.
Newt's got a wedding in 2 weeks.
2 right, I do. I don't want to stay here for another 2 weeks. What else do you suggest?
Newt, I'm gonna punch you.
Well, Newt could stay here safe while we're overthrowing the council. If we overthrow the council, we can take control of who goes home when, and then we can send Newt home first.
Liliana, how would you feel if your wedding was postponed?
Prince Gurgle would never have allowed that. And it's irrelevant because I am already married to my beautiful Prince Gurgle.
Could I just threaten him with the Wand of Wonder?
As in Newt.
Yes.
You point the wand of wonder at Newt, and he looks at it with panicked eyes.
What is that?
Oh, this is just the Wand of Wonder, Newt. It's a wonderful wand of wondrous things. It can do loads of good stuff, but mainly bad stuff.
Are you threatening me?
Yes.
I'm sure all of you can agree that we just want to go home, right? You've got your husband to return to, Liliana, and Harold? Don't you have anybody at home that you love and want to return to?
2 people. Yeah, and a book.
I think we should go investigate this waterfall town.
Let's go through the waterfall.
As you step out of the barracks, you see Rune approaching you, holding like a tray of drinks. It's visibly shaking as he walks closer and closer to you, and he stretches it out to offer them to you.
Thank you, Rune. I would like to cast Charm Person on him with my Pendulum of Charm Person.
Okay, so as he's handing these drinks around, you take out your pendulum, then he becomes transfixed, and his save is a 7.
So he regards us as friendly.
He seems to suddenly visibly relax, and his smile towards you becomes quite genuine. Is there anything else I can get you?
We're good, thank you, but I'd like to know, how are you?
Well, to be honest with you, I was a little bit anxious when you turned up. We had an inspection due 8 years ago now, and the inspections have been getting later and later. So I guess I have kind of let things slide just a little bit on the human front. But everything's well in order. Don't worry about that.
That's fine. We come in peace, and we're not here to get you in trouble. We're not even the official people. Like, they've had budget cuts, and so we're kind of like a hired team, a little bit cheaper, that they sent to just sort of check on things. So you don't have anything to be worried about with us.
You can roll a deception check again, but this time with advantage.
21 or 8.
I didn't realize that they hire people now, and you don't seem familiar folk neither. Are you even a Torus citizen?
No, most of us aren't. Just Klaus-Kaul here. He's a native. We're kind of like, the hired help.
So, tell me why the council hired a traveling circus to do this work.
Well, okay. The traveling circus is actually our side hustle.
Are you kidding? You seem like professionals to me.
Oh, thank you. It's very flattering.
Like the swamp monster and the singing fish.
Yeah, we've been honing our act for a while.
Okay, well, as your hired help, and you seem like friendly folk to me, I'm going to come clean.
Okay.
And this cannot reach the council, right?
Inky promise. Hold up a feather.
You extend a little feather towards him, and he takes it in his pinky finger.
Well, the thing is, a long time ago,
And then he just sighs, and he says,
I suppose it's better to show you.
Please do.
All right, then, follow me.
As then he begins taking you further into the valley. Do you all follow him?
Yes.
Yes.
And then he waves his hands and mutters a bit of a spell, and all the humans in this place just vanish, and their screams fade on the wind.
The humans you have all seen are fake. I also had to give Newt a bit of a fright in order to send him off and stall you for a little while, just to set up this little illusion before you all got here.
Wow. I look very shocked.
And while we no longer torture humans, we still operate in our primary function. Does humans still work the most dangerous job?
What's the most dangerous job?
All 12 of these human camps, harvest time.
Harvest time?
Ooh.
The herb.
Darkwood is one of 12 sources across Torus that has such a resource, and the humans have quite a knack for harvesting. And then we had a revolution some years back, and, well, come on through, it's far easier to show you.
So he takes you towards the waterfall. He raises his hands, and the waterfall begins parting, and a bridge forms over the water.
Make sure you don't enter the water. It may have some eventful side effects. I hope none of you even get splashed, as goodness knows what could happen to you.
As you walk over the bridge and you enter this huge cavern that appears to now be lit by the sunset. As you walk onto the first of these islands that overlooks the rest of the cavern, the bridge behind you fades away and the waterfall cascades behind you. And now you are all overlooking a civilization that seems to be separated by stone islands and massive bridges that connect them all. And there is a lake at the bottom of these islands that cascades down into what looks to be a bottomless pit.
What do you mean by harvesting time?
Yeah, what do you do with the time?
Well, we have a quota to meet every year, and it's used to provide life towards all the other realms.
Mm-hmm.
The more time a realm has, then the healthier it is. Life in the outer worlds flows from Torus, and it is time that is the source of all this life. However, legend says that there are few who have managed to leave Torus through time. And we're trying to work out a way of manipulating this precious resource to send these humans back to exactly the moment they left their worlds. But that is only the plan. We are hardly there yet.
Who are you working for? Who's the higher-ups?
All the governors and senators and bureaucrats who keep Torus running the way it does.
You should run as a politician. You can make this change. You can bring this model that you have here to all of that. You said there were 12?
It's like you were chosen for this.
Yeah.
If any of the gods discovered this, be shut down. We'll be killed. That's why we must keep this a secret. We want all of these humans to survive and to escape home.
Have you tried whipping and enslaving them for them to work harder?
Well, of course, that is what we used to do.
And then he points to the distance, like one of the lowest islands, and you can see a golden statue there.
Then came along Sir Robin of Williams and his squire Jerry, and they transformed this entire place.
Oh, tell me about Sir Robin of Williams.
Well, he was one of the banished, exiled with all the other humans, but he found his way back into the land. Oh, you should have seen him, the toughest hero Torus has ever seen. Magnificent in his polished armor, and he had the kindest of eyes. And Jerry came through shortly after. Of course, they were both brought in here to Darkwood, but we couldn't torture them for very long. Well, you see, he showed us all that humans aren't the enemy, and he transformed this place into what you see today. And then one day, somehow and against all odds, they found their way out of Torus.
Yeah.
And if they can do it, well, we can too.
I'm so chaotic right now. I do want to kick him into this pit, and then I want to enslave all the humans. Is he close to the pit? Is he close enough for me to kick him in?
You will need a very decent kick to be able to kick him in.
I'm going to try it, but anyone else feel free to stop me just because I know this is exactly what I want to do.
I'm going to ready Mage Hand.
I'm going to need you to make an attack against him then, please.
7, -1, 6.
You lunge for a kick, but with both feet, and so you just land really painfully on the ground. And Rune looks really startled.
Did you try to attack me?
No, I tripped. Nay!
Roll a deception check.
19?
Oh, my apologies. You mind your step there, young fellow. Don't want to fall into the waters, or much less the pit.
I'd like to go inspect the big statue of Sir Robin.
You're currently on the tallest of the islands, overlooking the whole civilization. And so as you make your way down towards it, you pass several humans who all look at you really curiously. And then you walk through what feels like a residential island with stone houses like on the rock face. And then a bridge descends down onto this island. The statue itself depicts Sir Robin looking up to the sky with his sword pointed in the air. And beside him, there is this Squire Jerry with long hair and a very thin pointed face. He's carrying all of Sir Robin's gear, so he's got a massive backpack on. There's a small plaque that reads, "In honour of the brave Sir Robin of Williams and his mighty Squire Jerry."
Can I hack a little bit of it off then, because it's solid gold?
Are you trying to do this sneakily, or are you going to go straight for him?
I'll do a stealth. Why not? That's a 6.
How are you chipping it off?
With my head.
As you rush towards the statue and you headbutt it, you feel a crack from your horn as there is a loud, resounding clang sound that echoes around this whole cavern. And then it's followed by silence. And as you all look towards the other islands, you see that a whole bunch of humans are now peering down at you with a lot of curiosity and a little bit of fear. Rune kind of pulls himself together and he's like,
"Oh, there is no need to panic. These fine folks from the Outer Realms too. And with their expertise and foreign magic, I am certain that together we can find a way back home for all of you."
As then, slowly, starting with one person, rippling across the crowd, everyone applauds and then begins rushing down to greet all of you. And many try to shake your hands.
I'm just going to step back behind the others so that they meet the dirty humans.
I shake everybody's hand.
I use my wand.
Who would you like to use the wand on?
Just a big clump of people.
So as they're rushing around and distracted by this group of strangers, you grab your wand and you cast it. Please roll a D100.
D100. It could be a really lovely gift that they receive. That is a solid 100.
No.
Oh no.
What's
no.
Okay, then there is a elderly woman here who is using like makeshift crutches to move forward quickly. And just as she's stretching out a hand towards Harold to shake it, bright golden light bursts from your wand. And her Constitution saving throw is a 5. The light strikes her outstretched fingers. And from the very tip of her finger, it begins spreading very slowly as you notice that she's gradually turning to gold. As then it spreads faster and faster over her arm and surrounding her body, and the crowd goes silent watching this transformation, and she's turned completely into gold and is now petrified by this spell. So from the rules, she is considered a solid inanimate substance, and her weight increases by a factor of 10. She looks exactly like the statue of Sir Robin of Williams. And now the crowd notice this as well, and they begin whispering. And finally, one younger looking guy with blonde hair, kind of looks like a surfer kind of guy, says, "Did you send her home?" And then a much older looking guy pushes through the crowd and he's like, "Please, I beg of you, you must send me home. I have a family."
I look to the statue of Sir Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Sir Robin? I think he's still there.
But it's massive, isn't it? So
Maybe someone else did another Wand of Wonder on him just before, because there's a growing one. I would like to roll an Arcana to see if that is the case, please. That's a natural 20 with my +4, so 24.
Your hands still kind of feel that magic from the Wand of Wonder, as then you reach out and you touch this golden statue, but you don't feel anything abnormal about it. It's just very cold, solid gold.
What does your goat hand feel?
My what, sorry?
What does your goat hand feel?
Oh, I thought you said my gotennas.
Your goat hand.
That could be another name for the horns.
Good.
It's cold, and it's a metal. I believe it's solid gold, and there's nothing magical about it.
Okay, so it's not Robin.
No. I'll convince the growing crowd that, yes, she has been sent back. However, I can't do it for everyone, for we need to keep mining the time.
You can roll deception, and I'll give you advantage on that.
7 and 11.
So I rolled a 3 on the crowd's insight. That same surfer-looking guy shouts out, "It's just like what happened to Sir Robin of Williams in the stories. Let's go get more time." And then the crowd cheers. They hurry back to their houses and they grab fishing rods and buckets. And then they all file into an entrance to what looks like another tunnel or a cavern. And then you're left here alone with Rune, who looks entirely unconvinced by your arguments.
That was some good work there. They really do believe in you, and that's all it will take. I have need of you to send these people home, and in return, I will make sure you all get home safely as well. So what do you say? Are you in?
Yes.
yes.
Hell yeah.
We all put our fists in, and
I'm just very explosive, and it's like I point my wand. 32.
As you put your fist in, there is a massive explosion, and you're all knocked backwards. As in the middle of this group, a giant elephant erupts from this wand. It rears upwards with a trumpeting sound, and then with like massive feet land on the ground, and the whole island shakes. It rushes up the bridge towards the town square, and Rune looks at you with horrified eyes. And that is where we're going to end the session this evening.